Okay, we are going to get started. Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda Moore, and I am a nutrition coach and personal trainer slash I own a gym and a run coach. So I have a lot of like little hats that I carry, but one of them is nutrition. And I work with a lot of men and women with macros. And I know it's when we hear the word macros, it can be a little overwhelming, and you look at numbers and you look at, okay, what does all this mean? And I know a lot of you that I see, I don't know some of you, but you're all at different walks in life. You all have different goals, whether it's like weight loss, you're an athlete, you want to make sure you're fueling properly. All of those things, everyone has a different journey. And what's cool is like we're all different bodies, all different body types. All of us just have different makeups. And how macronutrients work for you specifically is absolutely amazing. And I have been through, I think all of us have been through all of these diets, whether it's keto, whether it's fat-free, whether all these things, and they've all come to this where macros really make sense. And God created us to eat all the foods in moderation, and we're going to talk about that today. So if you have the PDF, but I'm going to share the screen of it, and I'm going to get a little wordy at first, but I want you just to understand why all the food groups are important and why we need them in our bodies so you feel better. So maybe you're going to be able to sleep better. You're just going to function better in your workouts. You're going to lose weight, all of that. But we have to talk about the why before we talk about the how. Okay, so buckle up. And at the end, we have a little quiz. And then we're going to do like a question and answer. So I know a lot of you have questions. And if I don't answer them in the next like 15 minutes with this little presentation, then let's open it up for discussion. Okay. So I'm going to get wordy, but let's talk about macros. So let me share this first. Give me a second. And as long as you all see it, give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Okay. So the ultimate macronutrient guide. So what are macros? So if you've read it ahead of me, or if you've went ahead and you're like a good student, which all of you probably are, there are 3 macronutrients. So you've probably heard it. You have your proteins, you have your carbs, and you have your fats. Now we're going to talk about each of the 3 proteins individually. I mean, each of the 3 macros individually, and why they all are needed in our diets. Because we have some diets that tell us, oh, you should have 80% should be fats. And it's like, yeah, maybe you'll lose weight for a little bit, but in the long run, you're going to go back to eating carbs again. So I want you guys to learn how to actually eat all the food, all the macronutrients, and it be sustainable. So when you're 85, you're still able to enjoy life and not like skip food groups just to lose weight. So this is sustainable forever, not just for the here and now. Okay, so what are fats? What are proteins are crucial. We need them to build, repair, and maintenance of our tissues and organs. That's why everybody that works out with me is like, eat your protein. That's what I say after your workout, eat your protein. You just tore down your muscles by working out. We need to build them back up. And it's crazy how amazing food is fuel. And we need to look at it that way. It's not our enemy. We need to use food as fueling our bodies to help us feel better in our next workout or in work the next day. Okay, so it plays a key role in the formation of our enzymes, hormones. If we're having hormone issues, maybe our diet's not where it needs to be. We all want to go to like some medications, but maybe if we switch things in our diet, our hormones might get stabilized. There's so much antibodies and other important molecules in the body. Let's talk about carbs, because we've always been told carbs are the enemy, right? Carbs are the body's primary source of energy. While proteins are essential for growing our muscles, we need carbs to be able to do what we can do in the gym, to do what we can do in our runs. We need them. Okay, so that's why tomorrow when I'm doing my race, every 30 minutes, I'm taking in carbs. I need to, or I'm not going to be able to finish the race. So it's so important. Fats are often like given that negative, like, oh, I grew up, it's like, remember the Dan and Light and Fit? Oh, it only has 0 grams of fat in it. And then there's all this sugar. So it's like, it's just learning. Once we start learning how to fuel our bodies properly, we realize, oh, wow, I should be having fat. And then same thing with hormones, our energy, fats are good for us, good fat. And obviously you guys know I preach drinking water, 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 and having good fiber. And we get that in our carbs, good carbs, complex carbs give us the fiber that we need. So let's break it down into protein. Why we need protein, we're talking about, and then I want to talk about BCAAs. There's so many lingos out there. Let me read to you what the protein is, and then I'll tell you what my thoughts are on BCAAs and these added supplements that some of us are taking. Proteins are large, complex molecules made up of amino acids. That's why you're saying, oh, should I drink amino acids while before and after I work out? Amino acids are crucial for structure, function, and regulation of the body's tissues and organs. So that's what I've already kind of like rehearsed, or just reiterated right now. So read through this, but it's crazy how our body's made up of it, but our body doesn't make it. We have to eat it to get enough amino acids. So that's why some people I even take BCAAs if I know I'm not getting the adequate protein I need for the day. It's like a crazy day, or maybe I'm working out a little bit more. I do take a drink with BCAAs in it, branch amino acids. But if you are, and we'll talk about the right amount of protein for the day, if you're getting enough protein from your animal meat, pea protein, whatever, you don't need to have added supplements like that. You really don't. Like, it's just kind of it. So I just want to say, if you're getting enough, you don't always need to have all these added supplements. Food is fuel. If you're getting what you need, then yes, I do take vitamins. I do that. But all this added like BCAAs, yes, great. Maybe as a little bit of a supplement, but you don't need it. If you're getting adequate protein in, you're okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, so look at all the stuff protein gives us. It builds and prepares our muscles, our tissues. If you're not eating enough protein, like you probably see athletes or some people that are really thin, but they're so active or whatever, they're not getting enough protein in. Their body's eating away at them. There's nothing to grow. So that's a sign that you need more protein if you're having trouble gaining weight or you're losing too much weight. And also if you're starting to lift and you're trying to lose weight and you notice that like maybe your weight's staying, but your clothes are fitting smaller, that's muscle, you're growing muscle. So you have to kind of like figure out that balance in your head. Is it all about the weight loss, or am I wanting to get toned and have muscle? Because honestly, I weigh more now than after I had my third child, like postpartum 2 months. And I look totally different. I look way better now. So I don't even go on the scale at this point because I know muscle is going to look different than when I didn't have any muscle after Gabby. Okay. So we'll talk more about that if you have questions. So write down questions if you have any. And then, yes, we talked more about like hormones, proteins help regulate them. And so, yeah, if you're having hormone issues, it might be something to talk about, like, where are your macros at? What are you eating each and every day? It's when I start working with men and women and they start tracking and we see where you tend to like eat more of carbs. Some of us like more carbs. Some of us like more fats. I even look at my children, and Gianna, she just loves carbs. And I'm like, you had no protein today. So it's like teaching them now, like, even if like maybe, and even you notice if you give your kids a lot of sugar, they're crazy. So what if we're doing the same thing to us? Why are we acting crazy? You know what I mean? Like, so there's so many things that we just have to keep in mind that, hey, if my hormones are out of whack, maybe my diet's not where it needs to be. Okay, so keep going. Number 4, transportation and storage. This is all like super scientific, but it just helps you guys understand how important it is to have these macronutrients in our bodies, immune function, all of that. So here, let's talk about what is protein. Where do we find it? We find it in meats, we find it in fish, eggs, dairy. I know some of you can't have much dairy, so you have to kind of be resourceful. nuts, seeds, grains like quinoa, huge source of protein. I do sometimes protein shakes. I have a few that I take if I know it's going to be a busy day of coaching. So that's good. But yeah, I don't know about you, but lately I've been craving like ground beef. So wherever you can get it, that is, I mean, I know some of you are like, I hate eating tons of chicken. You got tuna's good. So there's a whole list if we work together, finding what you like and mixing it up too. Sometimes it gets mundane to eat like 8 ounces of protein or chicken at a sitting. So got to be resourceful and think. I love, like last night, I was hungry at like 8:30. So I grabbed a protein yogurt, Greek protein yogurt, and it was perfect. It sustained me, and that helps, especially before bed. If you ever get the munchies, take a protein. Okay. Now let's talk about carbs. We're all afraid of carbs, right? But if you're feeling tired all the time and you don't eat a lot of carbs, I think you need to add some more carbs in your diet. You need to have the right amount of carbs and not be afraid of them. Good carbs, complex carbs. There are places for our simple carbs. So we have simple and complex, but having carbs in our diet, it is so important. And that gives you your fiber. So if you have digestive issues, where are you at with your carb intake? So read through that, how it provides energy, it helps our body functions. Let's talk about simple carbohydrates. Now, as a runner, tomorrow, every 30 minutes, I'm taking a gel that's like straight up sugar because my body's literally going to take that and use it. So that's different. So if I'm talking to athletes right now, you better be having your simple carbs in your diet, even before a run, like having a banana to help you, all of that. So like fruits, don't be afraid of fruits, milk, but just stay away from like the added sugar, like the table sugar. Like what value is that giving you? Like you have to think of the value the foods are giving you. For me, a gel is giving me value to help me run and sustain my energy levels throughout. I want to be like this. I don't want to be dipping. So if I dip, I'm in trouble. That's when I start to tank. So if I can keep my sugar level here or my glucose level here, I'm good. Those of you that you want to work out for that 40, 30 minutes, you want to take that like banana before, it keeps you right there. So you're not dipping and you are so tired. Complex carbohydrates are when you find like in vegetables, which is so good for us. We all know our vegetables, we need to have them. Whole grains. I do a lot. I even do white rice. Honestly, it's good for me and my training. What else do I like? Brown rice is fine. The kids love like their noodles. Don't be afraid of pasta. If you have it within your macros, it's not bad. It's good for you. You just can't have like 2 servings of it. Have one. It's okay. I'm giving you freedom to like, oh, we can eat food. All right. And not be afraid of different things. And then yes, fiber is so important. That's part of our carbs as well. So if you're having a great diet of whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, you should be pretty normal. If you're not, you might be deficient in some of these areas, and that I would be changing your diet rather than taking Miralax. See what your diet can do to change, and then you might need to not have to take all those added things. All right, let's talk about fats. Just talked about like sometimes we're afraid of the fats, or now it's the big keto diets and all of that. And I'm not negating keto. Like if that's been working, great. But at some point you're going to want a donut. At some point is that going to spin you off into a carb binge? And that's like, I think a lot of us, we go on these crazy like cleanses or these diets, and it changes our mindset of food. Whereas if we look at food as fuel and it's going to help us live our lives longer and better, I think it will stop us from going out after all these crazy diets, these pills, these shots. We'll actually look at food as, okay, this is helping me get get through the day, helping my mind, my brain function, and all of that. So I'm talking to the choir. I've lived it. I'm learning as I go. So I think just even writing down like why am I afraid to have like that donut, or why am I not eating enough, or I'm eating too much? Like, what is like my why here, and how can you change your mindset to be like, food is going to help me perform better? Yes, food is actually going to help me lose weight because I'm looking at it as fueling me and giving me what I need. There are good, okay, let's talk about more about fats. So good fats, bad fats. We know that our good fats, if you like fish, salmon is so good. Then you have your nuts, like cashews. I mean, peanut butters, I'm not against anything. Like, I love it all. I try to stay away from like tons of butter. I laugh at my son. I don't know. When he was little, he would go into the refrigerator and I'd see teeth marks in the butter. I'm like, oh my gosh. So you can't be like that, like chewing up butter all the time. So you want everything in moderation. And that's like where you have your donuts and all of that. So moderation on those bad fats. Okay. So it was funny. I'm working with a lady, and back to the carb thing, she goes, I said no to Costco pizza today because I wanted my popcorn and glass of wine tonight, because her macros were going to be off. So I'm like, you're learning that there's freedom in this. She goes, I feel free that I can still not like, okay, dry January or no carbs for the whole month of January. She's going to go back to having that glass of wine and popcorn at some point. So now she's able to have it, but also say no to, hey, I maybe would have enjoyed that pizza for 20 minutes, but in the long run, it wouldn't have helped her get to her goals. But if she wanted the pizza, she would have had to say no to something else. So it's like that give and take. I hope this is being helpful to you guys. But okay, so more things about fats. That's a kind of a double. Okay, so now you're like, okay, I understand the macros. I understand they're the proteins, fats, and carbs. And we need those three in a certain percentage in our bodies. So, but if we have too much of anything, right, a surplus of anything, we're going to gain weight. So calorie intake and an energy balance. So when I work one-on-one with macro clients, I have their age, their weight, their height, and their activity level. All of you have different activity levels. All of you have different ages, heights, and weight. I would not give Jean the same macros and calorie intake as Jenny or Sunshine and Debbie. I would not do that, because you're all obviously looking at you. You all are different. So that's why the macros are very one-on-one rather than this blanket, here's a diet to follow. So calorie intake. So if you're running 60 miles a week, your calorie intake is going to needs to be a lot higher than someone that works out 3 days a week. If you're not working out, it's even less calorie intake. But you would be absolutely shocked. You just sitting on your hiney working, you need at least over 1,000 calories a day. And some of you that I work with, you come to me eating maybe 600 to 800. And that's the problem. Your body's like shut down. It's like, nope, whatever you give me, I'm going to hold on to it for dear life because I don't know what's coming next. And that is scary to be in that. So a lot of you, I have to do like reverse dieting almost, because if I threw the numbers at you that you're actually supposed to eat to sustain your lifestyle, you would lose your mind. You'd be like, there's no way I can eat that amount of food. Think about how many years you have depleted your body from what it needs. It takes time to reverse that mindset. It takes time to, like, your body's going to be like, oh, carbs, what are you doing? Like, it changes how you view it. And so it takes time. So calorie intake is what you need to like just live. And on top of it, like whatever you're expending, your energy balance, if you want to just maintain your weight, you need to be at a certain number every day, or you're either going to lose or you're going to gain. Is this speaking to anybody? All right. When they're working properly, whether your goal is weight loss or feeling better at the gym or running faster or getting stronger or whatever, or brain clarity, if you're in a fog all the time, that is a sign that you are not eating right. Or if you're emotionally not there, like I go through it too, because I get through the day, I'm like, I didn't eat anything today. And then I'm like, I feel I'm crabby with the kids. I'm exhausted. I'm mean to Jared. So like it all goes together. And I can't just drink a cup of coffee to make it go away. I have to fuel my body. So I'm talking to myself. So what should your macros be? So your macros, if you're okay, let's talk about weight loss. You need to be in a calorie deficit for your weight loss. So let's say you're 180, 5'8", and a woman. So I don't even know off the top of my head, but it'd be like probably close to 1,800 calories a day. And then we would give you, I like to get women, especially as we get older with our muscles, we're losing a lot, our bone density. You've noticed that they say you gotta really up your protein, you gotta start weightlifting because you're losing so much more, especially as you age. It's crazy. So I give you more of like 35% to 40% protein for the day with your so whatever your calories need to be, I give you the 35 to 40% of what protein you need. And then either fats are 30 and then carbs are 30. So you're at like 40, 30 percentage for that. I know it sounds, that's why you have like a coach to have them do it for you. So you don't have to think about it. But yeah, because it's just, but that's how it works. So there are numbers in macros, there are. But if you can, even if you had someone write them out for you and be like, this is what you need for the day, you'd probably be like, what? Wow, that's crazy. So that's kind of, and then muscle. So then we have the other, because you have other people that maybe need to gain weight. So muscle gain. So I would give them calories that they would need to gain weight. So they'd be eating more than their calorie to either maintain or to lose. So they would want to gain weight. So do macros need to change? So am I on the same macros I was 4 years ago? Hopefully not, because my body's changing, my training is changing, I'm getting older. So no, I don't, I change it every couple, 3 to 4 months if I'm being religious with tracking. So if I haven't been religious with tracking, even with my clients, I'm like, if you've been like 1 week on of tracking and then the other week I lost you you ghosted me for a week, then I'm like, no, we're going to stay on these numbers to get you stabilized at these numbers. So that's why I have my clients, we track everything in the app, and then I can see where we're at with that. And if like, okay, Sunshine, you're eating a lot of fats this day, let's make sure come down between 5 to 10 grams of whatever I give you. So if I give Sunshine 180 grams of protein a day, the goal for her is to be at 175 grams. Because if you're like, oh, 110 here, 180 here, your body's still like, it's still what is happening. So it is very much stay within these numbers, because that's where you'll see you're feeling better, you're losing weight, or gaining that muscle that you want. But the up and down, that yo-yo thing that we all have done, it doesn't work. Okay. And then when you get to that point of stabilization, you're like, hey, I don't want to lose anymore. You still at some point would need to adjust macros, just because your body kind of just gets bored and just stays. So you want to make sure you're mindful of that. Okay. So what is next? I feel like I've been talking a lot. Okay. Find a macro coach. If this is something that you want, that you feel like I need, everything else hasn't worked for me, I want to find a macro coach to help you guys. You need to do that, to keep you accountable, to give you the numbers that you need for you, to explain why we do what we do. And we do have our VIP group that starts on Monday, that we work one-on-one with you. We give you, some of you like the meal plans, other of you like, I just want to figure out how to eat on my own, but I still give everybody a meal plan based on your macros and so you can actually see a layout. Oh, I can reach these numbers. Because if I give you numbers, you're like, I have no idea. So they guide you through that and help you, and you can see how you can fit that in. All right, let's do this. This is the teacher in me. Take out your macro quiz. You have to do your macro quiz. We'll go over it together. So and then we could all talk now if you want. You're allowed to unmute. What are macronutrients? You can write them out, you can share them. I have the answers here, but I don't want to show you just yet. So can I unmute you or no? Do I have to ask and unmute? Here we go. Oops. Jean, you're unmuted. You can go.
Okay, what are macros? They are, we'll say the three macros are carbohydrates, protein, and fat.
Very
with
good.
Protein being the building block of our muscles in recovery.
I love that you're like on the elliptical. Are you on the treadmill right now?
I'm on my new trainer outside. Sorry.
Love it. Oh, so she needs a lot of calories today. Look at you're oh
yeah.
Wow. You're putting us all to shame right now. I should be like good. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's perfect. So if we all look, essential nutrients required in large amounts for proper body function. We didn't talk about like vitamins and minerals. That I do take my vitamins and my minerals that we get from the foods that we eat, our macronutrients, but said, like these are the three big numbers: protein, fats, and carbs. Okay. What gives us the most energy that we need? Number 2, which macronutrients?
Carbs.
Woohoo, carbs. So carbs are not bad. We love them. Why is energy balance important in achieving specific health and fitness goals? I love your personal input on that. Is someone on here? Oh, someone. Oh, hi, Michelle. Good answer. Didn't realize the carbs. This is kind of more, I mean.
Can you repeat the question, please, Amanda? Since I'm on my trainer, I don't have them in front of me right now.
Hi, Jean. Why is energy balance important in achieving specific health and fitness goals?
Well, in my terms,
Yeah,
sorry, can I say?
Someone else that's unmuted.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so in my plain English terms, it's what the nutrients and the fuel that keeps our engine or our body going, simply. And just, I'll say that.
I love that
because
one of coach I talked to a long time ago, she's like, your body is an engine, and why are you not fueling it? And I'm like, that is so good. If we don't put gas in our car, it's not going to go anywhere. So we have to do this.
Yeah.
So it influences our weight management and body composition. Crazy.
So can I add?
Yes.
Do we fuel our body like a Ferrari in high test, or do we fuel it like a dunker?
I like it. Like a Ferrari, my dream car, right? Yeah. That is so good. We should write that. That's my next quote. Jean. So good. And then, okay, this is helpful. Oh, I don't want to give the answer. What is recommended nutrient ratio for a balanced diet? This is good to know. Even if we don't work together, it's helpful for you to know. And I change it a little bit. I tweak it for everybody. depending on your goals, it's 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fats. So that's really how
I
that,
thought you said 40% protein.
I do that. This is recommended, but when you want to grow in your protein to lose weight and to gain muscle, I give you more protein. So it would be like 30, I tweak it, 35% protein, and then 30 to 40 of the carbs. It just depends on what your specific goals are. For me as a runner running 50 to 60 miles a week, I do 40% carbs. So if you are trying to lose weight, gain muscle, I add more protein into your diet. That's a lot of macro coaches do. And then that's why the goal is, okay, you're in maintenance stage. Let's go back to that 40% carbs, 30. That's why it's so good to kind of keep the body here 2 to 3 months at this. You see your muscle gain. That's why, okay, bodybuilders, I'm not a bodybuilder, but they have a cut phase, right? They're cutting and then they get back to the surplus. So they have to tweak those numbers a bit. Good question. All right, let's open it up for questions. So keep that just in your little pocket. So now you get all this lingo for what are macros and all of that. So, and keep that PDF, keep it available so you can look back at it. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'd love to open it up for discussion. Don't be afraid. No question is stupid. We're all in this together. Like it's great.
What are sneaky ways to get protein in?
What are sneaky ways? Tracking ahead. So if you know your day is going to be busy the next day, write down in your tracker. I always tell everybody this, like, plan to succeed. You have to meal prep. You have to, I know it stinks. But a lot of you, I know all of you in this, most of you, you are so busy, whether it's kids, whether it's training, whatever, you have to plan. So the day before, write down how you're going to get your protein in, whether it's, okay, get your little cooler, 2 little protein shakes, Premier Protein or Core Recovery I've been really liking. Get some good protein bars. I like tuna pouches. I know some of you hate tuna, but tuna's good. Those give you 15, and one thing is 15 grams of protein. So 2 of those gets you 30. I do the Greek yogurt. If you're not dairy, dairy's not bad for you. The Greek yogurt, you can get some that have 20 to 30 grams of protein in it. And then if you're feeling zealous, like add a little bit of protein powder to it, like make it a fun little, and I love cottage cheese. Does anyone love cottage cheese? I know it's not Sunshine doesn't like it, but I love it. So that has great protein in it. So I hope that, does anyone, I mean, all of us, Sunshine, what's your sneak? You sneak in protein.
Sorry about that. I do, protein shakes, protein bars, but you have to be careful because sugar. So make sure it's a lower sugar, and then protein chips and crackers.
Oh yes, you do like the protein chips and crackers. Yes.
Yeah. So Quest makes all different flavors of chips, and then they have Cheez-Its.
I wish they were cheaper though. They're so expensive.
Yeah, they can be very expensive. So I buy them by the case at Amazon.
Oh, that's a good idea. I've tried that protein water. I do not like it. So you kind of find like a good protein powder that you like. So you don't like let it just sit in the cupboard for years. That's gross. But like we all know it's been there. I think I have stuff that's been there for a year. Yeah, and cheese, that's good, Sunshine. Look at what the ingredients are of your protein. Pure protein's pretty good. I mean, and honestly, you have to look at it. Not all of them are going to taste great, but they're going to get you what you need. So I just be careful of like added sugars. You don't need tons of added sugar, not good sugar like we get in our fruits and our vegetables. Added sugar is like the fake stuff. So just be mindful of what's in that. Any other questions? Yes, Debbie.
What do you usually recommend on a percentage of calorie deficit when you're in weight loss? Or how do you recommend
Right.
that?
So that would be like if we worked one-on-one, I would have to like, what is your age? What is your weight, your height, and what is your energy? Like what it outtake? Do you work out 3 or 4 days a week? So then I would give you calories based on that knowledge. So roughly, let's just say 1,600 calories a day. I don't know. I don't know you I don't know.
Yeah.
So then I would give you your percentages of that. And we would work on, okay, because it gets overwhelming. You're like, how would I get 40% protein that in that amount of calories? It is overwhelming if you've been not eating enough or never really tracking before. So we would sometimes I'm a little nicer and I'm like, okay, let's get at 120 grams of protein a day and then ease you, kind of grow you. Like at the beginning, I talked about reverse diet. It's like slowly getting you to where your body needs to be. So roughly, I would say 1,600 to 1,800 would be a really probably be healthy to start for calories, not for protein.
For weight loss though?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, yeah. No one believes me, but it's true. Yeah. So I'm assuming you've not have you been under 1,000 calories for a while?
Oh, no.
You've been above.
Yeah, that's my problem. Too many.
So too many. So maybe you've been in a surplus.
Yeah.
You even use 1,600, that would be like, I mean, maybe a little less, but still, if you're not, you have to fuel, then it's like, it's an engine. You're just going to burn and burn. It'll have stuff to burn. It's really, it's incredible. So yeah, macros are different. It's a mindset shift because we have people telling us like, give us shots so we don't eat anything all day. And then you're finding studies that people are having gut issues because they're not. So macros are a way of life. I would think of it that way, as looking at as food as fuel, because even you sitting, Debbie, you need at least probably 1,000 calories to live, like to live well. So, and then if you add like exercise and all of that, oh, and another hint, when you're putting your stuff in like MyFitnessPal, make sure you take out your exercise, because it'll say, oh, now you exercise 30 minutes. Now you need 1,000 more calories. That's not right. So if I give you numbers, those are the numbers you stick to for the day, rather than having, yeah, they kind of mess that up a little bit. So people are like, oh, I get extra calories. I go, no, you stay in this box. This is your box. Stay right here. Do not leave it. So yeah, no, it's hard. I mean, I high school struggled with eating. Like I am not saying this is like an easy thing. Like this is, but I have found in order for me to be able to do what I got to do, I have to eat. And my best body composition is when I'm eating. I feel better. I'm at my optimal weight because I'm eating, and my protein is high. I have good carbs and fats. I'm eating it all. Any other questions?
I was curious, you talk about grams for protein.
Yes.
When you're looking at the carbs and the fat, is that also measured in grams? So like that ratio is
okay.
100%
So
grams.
yeah, so I would give you, these are your grams and these are your, yeah, it's just easier measuring food that way. And like, it could be like, so when I first started, I was like, I have a measuring, you could get off Amazon, you measure like what is 4 ounces and you know what that is. So like the MyFitnessPal tracks it all. It's fantastic. So you're able to be like, what is 4 ounces of chicken in grams? And when I give you the meal plan, you'll be able to see what it all is. So that's helpful, like a tool, because when you're first starting out, you're like, I have no idea what is in what. Like, what is a fat? What is a carb? It's really, it can be overwhelming. But yeah, but grams, we go by grams. So my goal is like, I try to get 160 grams of protein a day. That's my goal. And how do I do that? I have a protein at every single meal and snack. Like my snacks are based around protein. And it's really easy for me to get it in. But it's because I've been doing it for a long time. That sounds obnoxious. It's because I don't think I'm going to go eat a bagel. I'm going to go have a protein shake. Does that make sense? Like it's really easy for us to get our carbs in. I'm not worried about any of you with getting carbs in. It's really good, but yeah. Good question. But yeah, grams. There's more of you. Anyone else? Jamie, have questions? My runner people.
Sorry, no, I don't have questions. I'm not on it.
So for the VIP
Yes.
that starts Monday, do you get that information by going to your website?
Yes, I can. I think I have your email, right? Yes.
Yeah, but I have a Cox email and it bounced back. So
Yes, like, okay, I was having a panic attack because some people that signed up, I had no idea.
yeah,
And I'm like, is it me? Something's going on with Cox.
yeah, I don't know why. Very
me,
annoying.
oh yeah, because like I feel bad for some of the people that, okay, so what is your email?
I have a Gmail with one of my clients.
Okay. Is it,
So
I'll
it's
write it down in my chat or in my notes. Go ahead.
okay, it's billing, BILLING
Mm-hmm.
at northvalley.org. Because Pam had to send the link to me because
Oh,
she
good.
got hers.
Okay, I was like, Pam, I don't know. I keep getting it back. Okay,
Yeah.
Billing, BILLING at northvalley.org. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yes, you'll get that before and we'd set up a time. And also if you're local, we do body scans at the gym. So, and measure you. Because sometimes our measurements are different. So,
Mhm.
so that's fun. Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Thank you all for your time. If there's no other questions, I don't want to keep you. I know it's a busy Friday for a lot of you. So
Thank you very much.
thank you. Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I will see you soon. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Okay.
Amanda, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can we set up, I guess maybe you didn't get my email to set up a time.
I didn't. I was going to ask you. Is this Jean? Where are
Yeah.
you? Why can't I see
Uh,
you? Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
I don't have your cell phone either. So I think that would be helpful. But yeah,
Okay.
because I don't have your weight, age, or numbers. So I need that so you can get everything.
Yeah.
But you did
Okay.
email me back?
Yeah, I asked about if you had time Thursday or Friday this week, so.
Oh,
but-
nice. Oh, I'm nice.
That's okay. I figured what you just
No.
said,
All right,
like,
tomorrow.
oh, I bet you didn't get it.
No, I didn't. I have time today if you want to swing by. I'm here.
Yeah, I probably could after
Okay.
I finish, but do you want me to just drop in?
Yeah,
do
I
you have
have a personal training
window?
client from 12 to 1. So either
Okay.
before or after that would be great. So 1 or
Okay.
11:30.
Probably after 1, so I can also go swim. So.
Okay, so can you plan 1?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. See you then.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right, getting things done. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.